Hello, everyone. Namaste and good afternoon, and in some places it's good morning. I, on behalf of Manav Utthan Sewa Samity, would like to welcome you all in this Universal Revival Journey platform. It gives me immense pleasure to be with you all, no matter we are from different country, no matter we are from different rituals, different nationality, different colors. But as we all know that we are in the one platform, that is the platform of oneness, goodwill, love and kindness. And it is called Manav Dharam for all. This message from Universal Revival Journey is for everyone. It is the time of awakening. So that's why this is the 6th episode of Universal Revival Journey. As we all know, life is a journey filled with different lessons, filled with hardship, filled with joy and sorrow. And of course, it is also filled with some celebrations. So in the journey of life, we have lots of ups and downs. And to the human civilization, the biggest threat has been given by COVID-19. Still, COVID-19 versus human civilization is fighting. But we all know the reality of life is that one day we have to leave this world. So before we leave this beautiful creation, what is the responsibility of the human being that has to be understood by every one of us? That's why such programs, Universal Journey, and different other platforms are creating some programs for all of you for the awakenment of human being, not physically as well as spiritually also. That's why physical growth is always there. We all grow physically, everyone knows that. But at the present moment, mental growth is very, very important for all of us. And that is possible when we walk through the path of spirituality. My dear friends, why this revival journey is very, very important. Lots of people used to make lots of questions that we are revived, we are awakened. Physically, we are awakened. Spiritually, we are not awakened. That's why that awakenment is very, very important. In every society, in every country, wherever you stay, spiritual awakenment, spiritual growth is very, very important for the entire society right now. And this is the current demand of the present time. That's why Manav Utthan Sewa Samity, we have organized this platform for you all so that the seekers of truth, when they come to this platform, after listening to the speakers, let them feel the change. Let them feel that I should be a change, I should awaken myself. Let them be the conscious of own consciousness. That's why revival journey is very, very important. We live in this beautiful world. This world has been declared as a world of survival. We want to survive in this world. But my dear brothers and sisters, if we have to survive in this world, along with the survival, revival is very, very important. And that is the spiritual revival. And wherever you stay, no matter wherever you stay, in which country you stay, doesn't matter. Revival is very, very important, and it is your birthright to revive yourself spiritually, mentally, morally. And this is only possible when we go to the company of saints and when we listen to the experienced seekers of truth. So Manav Utthan Sewa Samity is a socio-spiritual organization. Manav Utthan Sewa Samity is totally focused on the spreading of humanity. Because if humanity doesn't exist, you don't find society, you don't find family members, you are zero. That's why Manav Utthan Sewa Samity is totally focused on spreading humanity first. Manavta, which we call humanity, which has been lost in every society in all the world, in different parts of the world. This subject has been lost. Humanity. Love, kindness and goodwill has been lost. Every nation, every people of the world are in search of truth and happiness and peace. And we are searching outside. And that inner peace, that vision, that potential is within every human being. That's why it is the time of manifestation. It is the time of introspection. It is the time that we have to go within and we have to search and we have to find out the human potential and the quality of the human life. That's why Manav Utthan Sewa Samity has focused on spreading this humanity in all aspects of life. Because I told you, if humanity doesn't exist, we don't exist. And if humanity exists, our children will exist, our parents will exist, and we can exist in this world. That's why, come, my dear brothers and my dear sisters, this is the platform where we talk about spirituality, where we talk about love, kindness, and goodwill, and where we talk about humanity and bonding, spiritual bonding. That's why, without wasting much time, now I would like to follow up with the following proceedings of the program's Universal Revival Journey. I welcome you from the core of my heart, my dear brothers and sisters. I know from different nations you have joined this platform. From the core of my heart, on behalf of Manav Utthan Sewa Samity, I welcome you all in this beautiful platform. Thank you very much. Now, without wasting much time, without song, without devotional song, we would not like to start the program. Singing is a manifestation. It is directly connected to the soul and to the master and to the supreme. That's why I request you all to enjoy a devotional song from Michael Learns to Rock. The song says Sleeping Child, performed by the youths of Sikkim. The performers are Sanjana Rasaily, Rinchen Bhutia, Anish Pariyar, Balsang Dorjee Tamang from beautiful, the land of happiness, Sikkim. Please enjoy the song. Thank you very much.
प्रेम से बोलिए श्री सदगुरुदेव महाराज की जय। my sleeping child, the world's so wild, but you built your own paradise. That's one reason why I'll cover you, sleeping child. Oh, my sleeping child, the world's so wild, but you built your own paradise. That's one reason why I'll cover you, sleeping child. प्रेम से बोलिए श्री सद्गुरुदेव महाराज जी की जय.
Thank you very much to the youths of the land of happiness, Sikkim. You must have understood the essence of the song. I mean, you can create your own paradise. The world is so wide and the world is so wild, but you have the potential of creating your own paradise. That's why in the Bible also it's written, the kingdom of heaven is within you. It is not in the blue sky. If you introspect yourself and if you see within yourself, you will find the kingdom of heaven within yourself. What a beautiful song. Like it was a message to all the people of the world that the king and the leaders of the world should come together in the same platform and speak for the humanity, cry for the children, cry for the world peace, shout world peace, so that the earth becomes a beautiful place to live in. Thank you very much for this beautiful song to my dear brothers and sisters of Sikkim. Now we move on to our second phase of the program. Now we would like to introduce our first speaker, Sharmila Nanda from UK, London. Sharmila Nanda, also known as Simi from UK. She works as an office administrator in a primary school. She have been involved in the Manav Dharam for over 20 years and feel most privileged to be a part of this spiritual society. Her family and she has been supporting the ashram activities in UK for many years. More recently, she had an opportunity to help and serve in the global virtual programs. She really enjoyed connecting with all saints and devotees worldwide. And definitely, yes, I should say, as she happens to be one of my best aspirants in my lifetime, she is an inspiration of thousands. So now, dear brothers and sisters, without wasting much time, please welcome Sharmila Nanda from UK. Thank you very much.
My greetings to all. Namaste. Thank you, Uttam Ji, for a very kind introduction. And thoughts today. So thank you to the organizers for giving me this wonderful opportunity to share my thoughts. As Uttam Ji said, I have been associated with this, the Manav Dharam Society for over 20 years. And I feel so privileged to be part of it. And today I would like to share a little bit of my experience during this wonderful spiritual journey. So before I came across Manav Dharam Society and came across Shri Maharaji, who I'm a disciple of, I come from a fairly religious and traditional family, giving me a wonderful foundation where it was a religious family. So we used to learn about God, learn about all the scriptures, listen to all the narrations from the Ramayana, the Bhagavad Gita. And I used to enjoy in this, alongside with my parents, I used to go listen to all the spiritual talks. But it was later on in my life that I came across Maharaji and his teachings. And after listening to Maharaji's talks and all the Bhai Mahatma's talks, it made me realize that surely there's something more to it than just listening to all the stories from the Ramayana, the Bhagavad Gita. And there was more to learn from why the incarnated souls were on this earth And there was so much to learn from the lifestyles. And this I learned through all the spiritual teachers so far. So I'll give you an example. We can know, if you read, if you want to travel somewhere, you need a map. If you don't know where you're going, you need a map to follow the directions. But by simply reading the map or looking at the map is not going to get you to the destination. You have to actually be able to read the map, follow the directions, and get to the destination. In the same way, our scriptures are all maps in our life. They are the maps to reach God. So we should be able to follow the scriptures to reach God. But for example, when you follow a map to reach a destination in your car or a vehicle, you need to be able to read a map. So you need a teacher, first of all, to be able to have taught you how to read and follow the map. In the same way, we need a spiritual teacher to help us go through the scriptures and teach us about the scriptures, what the scriptures are telling us to do. So you have to get in touch with a spiritual teacher. And it is very important that you have a spiritual teacher in your life. Because if you think about it, even like Lord Rama, Lord Krishna, they all had a guru in their lives. They went to ashrams and they learned from there. And from there, when they come to the world, they teach us what to do. But rather than following the teachings, we just sit back and just enjoy listening to what they did. But really, we have to follow what the incarnated great souls did. So the first step in devotion is to have the company of saints. And this, in the Ramayana, you'll have heard that Lord Rama told Shabri that the first step to devotion is the company of saints, which is very important. So by simply being near a saint, by listening to their talks, it brings out all the positive attributes in yourself, because the elevated souls just emit positive energy. And you will have seen this, that when a person's aura really affects you, if you are around a negative person, you will start becoming negative yourself. But if you are in a company of a very positive person, that positive energy will flow into you, because positive energy flows at a much higher vibration, and we can acquire that in the company of saints. So the very first step is to get the company of saints and listen to what they're saying, absorb their good energy, become a good person, remove all the negativeness within you. And once you have a clean mind, you might be able to understand what they're trying to say. For example, if you've got a utensil which is dirty and you put in pure water, the water is not going to be pure because the utensil is dirty. In the same way, if our minds are dirty, if our minds not pure, no matter how much purity you put in it, it's not going to affect it, it's not going to be pure. So first of all, we have to cleanse ourselves, and that can be done in the company of saints. So by having the company of saints and listening to the spiritual discourses, we learn about the essence of all the scriptures. Because what do? The saints, rather than just telling us all about it, they draw our attention to what is most important in the scriptures. Because when you read the scriptures by yourself, you can be just reading, but you don't really understand what is the essence of it. So you need a spiritual master to show you what the essence in a scripture is. So because they draw your attention to what really matters. And by simply reading the scriptures, it's not going to give you the experience. Because if you think about it, what are scriptures? What is in there? All the content in the scriptures is really an experience of the enlightened souls, experience of great devotees. which has been all put together in the scriptures so that people, when they read them, it might inspire them to do what they did. But by simply reading the scriptures, it's not going to give you that experience that they had. For example, the Bhagavad Gita, you've all heard how Arjuna got darshan, the divine form of Sri Krishna. But by just simply reading the Bhagavad Gita is not going to give you that divine darshan that Arjuna got. So we have to really practically do what is said in the scriptures. But who can do that for you? A living master can do that for you. So I am very fortunate to come across a realized master and receive the true spiritual knowledge. This knowledge is described in the scriptures. If you read all the scriptures, you will see all the scriptures like the Gita, the Quran, the Bible, they all talk about the same thing, and it is the divine knowledge. But we need to be able to understand that, and that can only be done by a spiritual master. So this knowledge is for the entire mankind, as Uttam Ji said. It's for everyone. It doesn't matter from what caste, creed, disability. It doesn't really matter. It's for everyone. It's the universal knowledge. It's the universal knowledge. And every soul is destined to be perfect, as Maharaji says. And anybody can practice this knowledge. But a deaf person can do it. A dumb person can do it. And it is universal, as I said. So you can read about all the past masters have said, but you cannot get the experience of that until a living master gives you the experience. Now, the importance of a living master. Let me give you an example. If there was a doctor years ago, a very good doctor, but he's no longer with us. By simply reading about the doctor, it's not going to heal your illness. It's not going to treat your illness, but you have to go to a present doctor to go and get yourself treated. In the same way, by reading about all the living masters who were there present years ago, who are no longer with us, they're not going to be able to treat us. We need a living master, present living master, to be able to treat us. And so really, this was my first step to self-realization, learn and understand spirituality. A true master is very well versed with all the scriptures and he himself has experienced knowledge. A true master will only teach you what is in the scriptures, and he will be following everything. It's not just about preaching. He will be practicing all that in his life and then teaching us what to do. And a true master will take you to the heights of spirituality. He can take you to the state that he is at. He will want his devotee to reach the highest state which he is at. And that's what a true master is. So once we get the knowledge, it's really up to every individual has their own journey. So just by receiving knowledge, that's not it. You have to actually apply it to your life. You have to practice it in your life. Everyone, as I said, have their own individual journeys. And I'll give you an example. In our family, I had the knowledge before my late husband. He took it many years after I did, but he was very diligent, and he very quickly applied to in his life whatever Maharaji said, whatever he heard from the Sant Mahatmas. He applied in his life, and I could see him reach the heights of spirituality very quickly, whereas I was a little bit slower. So this just shows that it is an individual journey, and it's up to us how far we want to go in life. And Maharaji gives you the tool, he gives you the knowledge, but it's entirely up to us how far we take ourselves. And what can knowledge be defined as? It means awareness acquired through experience, the theoretical and practical understanding of a subject. So spiritual knowledge is understanding and awareness acquired through spiritual experience. We all know that there is a soul residing in our bodies. That is the energy. We are part of, and Atma is part of the Paramatma, meaning the soul is part of the supreme energy. So God resides within us, but we cannot see him. And this energy cannot be destroyed, and it's eternal. Now, you will have heard all this in the Bhagavad Gita when Lord Krishna so nicely explains to Arjuna, because Arjuna, like most of us, was very, very confused in life, and he couldn't fight the battles. And Lord Krishna revealed to him this most wonderful knowledge, how to be able to detach your mind and stay connected to your inner energy and be able to fight the battle. And whoever's read the Bhagavad Gita will agree with me that Arjuna was just totally lost. So, what was it that Lord Krishna revealed to him? And he explained a lot about the energy, who we are part of. The supreme energy is within us, and we can actually see God within ourselves. So a lot of people don't believe that a soul can reincarnate, but we have heard that many people can remember things from their past life. So most of us believe that the soul reincarnates on this earth again. And we know that we keep hearing that the soul is primordial, it's eternal, and the energies, God is eternal, he's primordial, his energies everywhere. How can I explain that? For example, we know that air is present everywhere, but if we take a jar and close the lid, the air gets trapped inside. In the same way, our soul is part of that energy which has been confined and locked in the body, surrounded with all the bondages. Once it's released from that bondage, it will merge with the energy which is outside, the supreme energy. God, you can see that is part of, we are part of the same energies, the supreme energy. But we need to experience that energy within us. And we need to go to a true master. In the Gita Ji as well, Lord Krishna told Arjuna that you have to go to a master who will reveal you this beautiful knowledge where you can experience God within yourself. You heard a lot about Swami Vivekananda. And we've heard that Swami Vivekananda was in the search of a master who could show him God. So he used to move from one place to another and asking everyone, can you see God? Have you seen God? If you have seen God, I want to see God. And he used to move from one place to another. And he came across Ramakrishna Paramhans, who revealed this knowledge to him and gave him this spiritual knowledge, and so that Swami Vivekananda could experience God within himself. And Swami Ramakrishna Paramhans quoted that the lovers of God do not belong to any caste. Through selfless work, love of God grows in the heart. Then through his grace, one realizes him in course of time. Many are the names of God, and infinite the forms that lead us to the name or form you desire to call him. In that very form and name, you will see him. So once Swami Vivekananda got this knowledge, he realized God within himself. And we have heard often, like Mirabai, Lord Buddha, all these enlightened people who, like, they had everything in this world. They had all the riches. Mirabai she was a princess. Well, when she got this knowledge, she and she really progressed herself. Lord Buddha was a prince as well, but he left everything. And we have heard how Lord Buddha used to just meditate sitting under a banyan tree. So this just shows that all the riches in the world, all the material stuff, is not what matters really at the end of the day. And this one thing that I have learned from my master, that God cannot be seen with the physical eyes we have got. We need to see God with the third eye, which we have all heard about. If you look at picture of Lord Shiva, you see a picture of the third eye on his forehead. That doesn't mean he's got a third physical eye. There's an inner eye which only a true master can reveal, through which we can experience ourselves. God is light, and we can see God in ourselves. So I am truly humbled and feel so privileged that I have come across a true master, a true living master, who has given me this path to follow. And I have tried my best over the years to follow, but it cannot be done without the guidance, the constant guidance of your master. So you have to keep following the path. And I can say through my experience that this knowledge is the true knowledge. I can vouch that it's the true knowledge. And I have seen God within myself. If you let me give an, if you go to a temple to do darshan, and what do we do as soon as we come in front of the idol of God? We always close our eyes and we bow down. So although we've gone to have darshan to see God, we don't keep our eyes open. We close our eyes. That's an indication that God's not outside there. He's within you, inside you. Look at him through. Look at him through your inner eye. So that was something which I'd heard from all the Bai Mahatmas before I got the knowledge, and that really made me think that's true, because you've gone to see God, have darshan of God, but we never stare at the idol, do we? We always close our eyes, and that's the biggest indication that you have to go within. In fact, in a temple, when you go to a temple, well, I believe the temples were made to encourage us to get this knowledge, because when you go to a temple, what do you see first? You see like the bells outside. So you always like ring a bell before you go in, and whoever's got this knowledge, they know that you can hear all the sounds within you. So that's one thing. Another thing is there's always a light there, a jyot, a candle in a church, in a temple, wherever you go, there is a candle. That's another indication that there is a candle similarly in you, within you. And then you see people chanting the name of God there, they're singing devotional songs. So that's another indication that that true name's within you, and you have to connect to that name. And you can hear the sound. Whatever's outside is all within you. And all the temples were made by our Rishimunis to remind man that all those things that you see outside are actually within you, and go seek the true path. So when Lord Rama, Lord Krishna, Jesus Christ, Nanak Dev, Buddha, Allah, whenever all those great Mahapurushes, all the great souls, when they came to the earth, this was the main message. And people made different religions in the name, like all the followers of Lord Rama made their own religion, followers of Allah made their own religion. But what I have learned is the knowledge is not bound by anything. It's an independent knowledge. It's not bound by, it's a universal, Maharaji has taught us that it's a universal path. You shouldn't have to be a Christian or a Sikh or a Hindu. Everybody should be following the same path. And I am really proud to be part of the Manav Dharam. Manav Dharam simply means, Manav means a human being, and Dharam means duties. So as a human being, performing our duties with good virtues and by respecting the cosmic law and order is Manav Dharam. That's what I have learned. And what I've acquired from this spiritual knowledge has helped me tremendously to go through many difficulties in life. And I have found that inner peace. And I hope whoever's listening to this will find the inner peace. It is out there. Please do seek the inner peace, the path of the inner peace. And my master has given me a tool to protect myself in these worldly battles. So I am truly blessed and feel very fortunate indeed that I found the true living master in my life. And I bow down to my guru, my true living master, and salute many salutations to Maharaji. And thanks to all the Bhajis and Mahatmajis who have constantly guided me on this path. And I am still very far behind and need to move very far indeed. And I pray that I still keep getting the guidance from Bhai Mahatmas. And thanks to all my family and my friends for always giving me support and inspiration. And thank you all for listening to me. Thank you. Namaste and Jai Sachidanand to all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Siminandaji. Very, very inspiring. A very, very true words of wisdom and knowledge. Definitely, we have to seek for the real living spiritual master in our life. If we happen to see the life of Buddha, Ramakrishna Paramans, and Swami Vivekananda, as just now Siminanda said, they had gone to the living master of a time and they knocked the door. That's why it is written in the Bible that if you knock at the door shall be open unto you. If you will seek, then only you will find. Because I still remember the life history of Socrates. I never forget. And in whichever platform I used to get a chance to speak, I always used to portray this example. He was asked, Socrates, what is the limit of your knowledge? Socrates was a philosopher. He could have said, I know this much, I know that much. But the answer from the Socrates was, all I know is that I know nothing. I don't know anything. And the person who was asking the question asked, Socrates, what is the reason behind telling that you don't know anything? Socrates said, I have discovered the element of nature. I have discovered so many elements of nature in the world. I know my philosophy and principles has been studied in different colleges and schools and in universities. But I have not been able to explore myself. That was the answer from Socrates. That's why he said, all I know is that I know nothing. So that's why, my dear brothers and sisters, we have to find ourselves and we have to know, who am I? And the moment when you start questioning yourself, who are you? Then you will get the answer. That is very, very true. That's why discovery is very, very important. Exploration is very, very important. But what exploration? Inner exploration. Inner discovery is very, very important. Introspection is very, very important. That's why let's find a true living spiritual master and let's make this life more beautiful. That's why it's called human being, the crown of creation. Once again, I would like to thank Simi Nanda for this wonderful experience sharing. Thank you very much. She was from the land of legends from UK. Definitely. Thank you very much for your inspiring words, Simi Nandaji. In the days to come, we will expect more from you. Thank you very much. And now we move on to devotional song. The song says, Silent Night, Holy Night. This has been performed by the small Bal Sabha students of Manav Utthan Sewa Samity. It's from Sikkim, Mangan Tahsil. It's a beautiful small place in Sikkim. It's a village area called Mangan. It's so beautiful. And over there, the children is being trained by senior premies over there. And they have been trained in the ashram to sing, to deliver speech. And this Bal Sabha children will perform now a beautiful song. The singers are Rita Rai, Rinchen Lepcha, Sradha Gurung, Romila Acharya, Alanch Lepcha. And the musicians in the panel, we have Divyam Sagar Tamang. In the guitar, we have Rakesh Pariwar, prepared by a most veteran and senior most premi of Kalimpong, Sachin Khati and team. My dear brothers and sisters, please enjoy the devotional song Silent Night, Holy Night. Thank you.
Shri Guru Maharaji ki jai, Prabhu Yishu Mashiach ki jai.
Silent night, holy night, holy
Thank you very much. The students of Bal Sabha from Mangan Tehsil, Sikkim. Sikkim happens to be the land of happiness, always. Beautiful children, beautiful song. Definitely, I'm spellbound by the rhythm, by the words of the song. It was a call for the master, and please come and save the world. Silent night, holy night, Son of God, O love's pure light. Radiant beams from thy holy face with the dawn of redeeming grace. Beautiful song. I really make it out from the scene, from the everyone was spellbound by the performance of the children. Definitely, we have to give children such impressions that they can perform in any sort of platform because it is a universal platform. As Simi Nanda have already explained in her satsang that you must have heard, Manav Dharma is Utthan Sewa Samity is a universal platform. So in this platform, we invite everyone, irrespective of caste, irrespective of color, irrespective of nations. The door is open for everyone. The door of Manav Utthan Sewa Samity, Manav Dharma is open for all because it is a human religion. Religion means realization of God. That's why Swami Vivekananda was asked in America, Swami Vivekananda, how do you define religion? Swamiji, Swami Vivekananda said, religion is a realization of God. Every person can experience that the light of God within himself, within herself. That's why the message for all was same from the children. Now, thank you very much for the children. Now we move on to our second speaker from United States of America, Fowler is a lifelong teacher, arts of dance and movement, as well as a Reiki master practitioner, and is the founder of her wellness company, Conscious Essential Living. Originally from the island of Aruba, Audrey is now based in New York with husband Kenneth and has two beautiful daughters. Audrey has been involved in the service of spreading spiritual awareness under the shelter of Sadgurudev Sri Sapalji Maharaj for over 4 decades. As an ardent student of truth and a well-wisher to humanity, she feels her true work is only just beginning and is honored to be with us today. Definitely, my dear brothers and sisters, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome such a wonderful lady today in front of us, Audrey. Please listen to her experience. Definitely, I'm sure it would happen to be a turning point in your life if you listen very properly. Thank you very much. I welcome Audrey. Thank you so much.
Greetings, good evening, good afternoon, and good morning to all distinguished presence here at this amazing program. It's an incredible opportunity that we have to together come and spend time actually feeling and understanding the purpose of life and the universality of our being. That was such a beautiful rendition of Silent Night. It really touched my heart because it is 2000 years ago that in the history of man, this baby was born. His face was radiant. Not only that, there was even a star in the sky, the Star of Bethlehem, that announced his coming. That time, there was no media, there was no internet, there was no radio, there was just nature. And nature announced the arrival of such a holy person, of such a holy presence. And the baby, when the baby was born, it was born in a manger, not even in his own home. And already they were trying to kill him because there was so many misunderstanding. The reason why this song touched me so much is because that was my upbringing. I was raised a Christian, and I was raised with the spiritual insight of Christ. What he meant in the world what he meant for humanity. He was a human and lived on earth just like us. Like every single baby, he came in the world. But there was a difference. There was a difference. And he came to teach us. To teach us what? That we, as a human being, can achieve the same thing. And he even said, more than me, those in future can achieve. From his time and civilizations before Christ's time, human beings have been coming into earth exactly the same way, through the birth from the mother. And we all have always looked the same, meaning we all had one head, one body, two arms and two legs. Our feet always pointing forward, our face in front of our head. There was no difference. We all learned different languages. We all learned different things from our cultures. We all, because of where we live, ate different things, wore different outfits. But the principle of it was the same, that as a baby, we all were nourished by love. We learned to speak. We have the talent of speech within us already. But it is only through the caretaker that by the guidance, by the teaching, that we learn to speak. We call it our mother tongue, because that's what our mother talked to us and called us and expressed things. How did we learn to speak? Through the vibration, through the love of the mother, through the love of the father, through the love of everybody else around. And then we also know how to move, how to talk, and how to walk. But we had to be taught. Somebody had to be there and teach us how to talk and teach us how to walk. And every parent that has babies, remember the first step of their baby, how wonderful that was. And all these babies all of them were us. At one point, we all were that baby. What did we do? We entered the world crying, but everybody was so joyous. And then there will be a time that we also have to say goodbye. Most of the time, we don't know when it is. But when we do, if we live a very, very good life, then we will go peacefully because we have understood our purpose in life. And those we leave behind will be crying at that time. But in between the coming and the going, what is there to do? What shall we do? How can we make this life the most meaningful and valuable life? Because from the time of Christ to now, many, many parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, our ancestors all came. We don't remember their names. We don't remember what they did, but we remember Christ. We remember Saint Kabir. We remember Lord Buddha. Remember all the great masters for their work. What was their work? The work was to tell us that as a human being, you're giving that chance, you're giving the most gracious opportunity to connect with God. Because there is a saying, the saints say that God created trees and placed them on earth so that the earth can nourish the tree. God created fish and placed them in the ocean so that they can have a space and live and be nourished by the ocean. And then God created man, and God decided to make man in his own image and place man in him and place himself in man. Now, when you take the tree off the earth stays the same, but the tree dies. If you take the fish out of the ocean stays the same, but the fish die. And the same thing, if you take God out of man, man dies, and God forever still stay. So while we are in the human body, we are graced with the opportunity to know who it is that created us from where we came. We all in the Christian religion learned our Father by Lord Jesus Christ. He taught us to pray this prayer because, as we know the history of Christ, at the time of his last breath, where did he leave? He went to the right hand of the Father in heaven. He himself came back after 3 days and told us that. That's how we know, because he told us this is what each and every single human being can do. We can be going to heaven and be sitting at the right hand of the Almighty Father. These things we don't hear in the religions, although all religions are built and are founded by the experience of the master and the devotee, of the incarnated Supreme Soul with his following, with his disciple. Every single religion is based on that foundation. And most of the time, it's only after the master leaves that then the religion is created. In the time of Christ, he was going on donkeys, walking by feet, reaching to places, and then they had the whole ritual of washing feet because of the dust of the earth. There was no electricity, so a certain time they can only move and the rest they have to rest. But 2,000 years later, when we think about Christ, we see churches and cathedrals and Vaticans, huge, huge buildings with beautiful windows and amazing light streaming through. Christ didn't have that, but they're all worshiping Christ, because what he gave was actually the knowledge of the kingdom of heaven. But because we don't have that knowledge, we externalize everything with symbols. And so this is now the time that we really question ourselves, especially now with this incredible situation that the world is going through. It has never, at least in my lifetime, have I ever heard that the whole world is totally shifting from the regular way of living. We were all pushed back inside. We have all had to stop communicating with others like we normally do, hugging, smiling, and speaking without caring about distance, without worrying to touch. None of that we could do now. And as social beings, we miss that. But we are sitting alone in ourselves, in our home. We can reach via phone, but at some point, we wonder, what is the purpose of life? Why are we here? And the thing is that we are able to think that is only because we have life. And what is that? That is our life. Our life is that essence, that God particle within us that breathes us at a constant. Like we all have been sitting here and all have been listening. We all have been breathing. Were we aware of it? We had no idea who is breathing at us at this time. We are not thinking, oh, we have to breathe so we can listen. No, this is the grace of God sustaining us right at this moment with every single breath. And it is in this breath that actually the secret is of life. And it is in this breath that when we read Our Father, Christ said, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. He speaks about God's name. He doesn't say, hallowed be my name, Jesus Christ. He says, thy name, God's name, the eternal name. What is that? What is that eternal name that Christ himself is telling us to pray and remember and know? That is something we have to think about, because we all know that everything has a name, because by the name you can then know what you're talking about. If somebody said, oh, that lady's going to come and talk and she's from this island, there are many ladies from many islands. How you know who that lady is? But if you say that person's name, Then next time you say, oh yes, I heard that person speak. You know by the name who the lady is and from which island the lady is. So a name identify the subject, identify the person. And God has that divine, omnipresent name that is residing in our heart, that is deep within us, by which we are breathing. Without this name, no breath can come to us and no breath can leave us. So it's very important to understand this name, because Christ says, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as in heaven. Again, telling us that how heaven is, we can make earth the same. Give us this day our daily bread. We think it is just to eat so we can maintain this body. We are asking, Christ is teaching us to ask for this breath. But we don't only need to nourish the physical body. We have to also nourish our mental body, our emotional body, and our spiritual body. We eat food that is grown from earth. It's a gift from God that rises out of the earth by spreading seeds. How amazing! Out of nothing, we have seeds, and each seed, when it's planted, it becomes something that can nourish our body. Similarly, for our mind, we go to school, we go to have our education, we learn things through our mind, through our intellect, so that we can understand our environment. The same to nourish our emotions, our heart. We are social beings. So to nourish, to feel love, to feel kindness, to feel appreciated, to feel like you are worth it. All these feelings are nourishing that emotional body. And then what is that that nourishes the spiritual body? And how can we do that? So that is where the living masters come in our lives, because they gave us this birth into the spiritual life so that we can then understand by what we are being nourished. This name of God that is all omnipresent, that is omniscient, that is omnipotent, that is the only source that is sustaining us. That's the only source that is manifesting every single energy that is within us. That's the only source that's also transforming us. And so it is important that we learn that we have guidance. Just like when we were a baby, that we used to listen to our mom and dad. We learn how to eat, how to speak, and how to walk. Similarly, when we take birth in the spiritual life, when we receive this knowledge, the spiritual knowledge, the how to go within, how to connect with the spirit, how to nourish the spirit, and how to be connected with God, to see God face to face, because that Jesus Christ himself said we can do. He himself said that he saw God face to face, and he said that in him there is no darkness. So Christ is not telling stories. Christ is telling us, please find the master, know what you're seeking for, and ask to get this knowledge so that you can also start your journey. We never go in a car or in a plane or a train or a boat just to sit in it. We don't. Although nowadays I saw a commercial that the cars are so sophisticated that when the lady came home from work, everybody from COVID being so neurotic in the house, she went back in the car and turned on the music and turned on the TV and silently sit in there. But normally a car is so that we go from one point to another. A plane is so that we fly from one point to another. A train, the same thing. So when we are in this human body, this is our vehicle. This is our mode of transportation through which we journey life. Now we came into this body on this earth. So what is our destination? What is our goal? Where are we to go? Where did we come from? All these questions are spiritual questions. And when you ask these questions, if they are spiritual questions, automatically the universe responds. And when the universe responds, you will have those who have the answer that will you encounter them. And that's how my spiritual journey started. My father always told me, God is in your heart. And we believed that. So we stopped going to church and we were thinking if God is in our heart, we could connect with God in our room. We don't have to go. But when you were a child, socially, you enjoy going to the church so you could see your friends and so you could put on your nice clothes. So after some time, we miss that. So we start going. But that question, that understanding, I wanted to know because when I start seeking and to want to know that, I went to a bookstore and just out of nowhere, 4 books dropped in front of me. And one of them was the Aquarium Gospel of Jesus Christ, an amazing, beautiful book that talks about the years of Christ between 13 and 33 years, all the places that he traveled. He went to India, he went to Persia, he went to Egypt. He visited many, many masters and many, many seers and learned so much that when he came and stood in front of John the Baptist, he was ready to receive knowledge then. But then John the Baptist said that the knowledge that he gives you is the eternal knowledge. So he was imparting the living knowledge to the disciples, to those whose heart are yearning and are pure and want to receive. So the saints say that there is not one time on earth that there is not a living master ready and willing to impart this knowledge to you. And also it is said, we all know this saying, when the student is ready, the master will appear. If you're not ready, even if the master is there, you won't have that concept of even asking or thinking about it. But the moment you're ready and you yearn for it, you will find people like that will tell you, oh, we can help you. You're here today. How fortunate are you to be able to sit today to hear about things that normally you do not hear in religion, because they always tell you in the Christian religion, at least, that when you die, then you'll see God. The priest never tells you that actually you could see God, you can communicate with God, that you are born here in this human body to be connected with God. So you have this opportunity now that you hear it. And Christ and himself told that God's promise to us is that seek and you shall find, ask and it shall be given unto you, knock and the door shall be open. So know what to seek for. Seek for this spiritual knowledge so that you can start your spiritual journey, so that you can go to your goal, to your destination. Ask questions. Ask who you are, where you come from, and how can you reach, how can you connect with God. And when you receive this knowledge, when you understand how to practice, then apply it in your life, because only through the practice will you gain deeper understanding. The practice itself is the journey. The practice itself is you connecting with God. And every single time that you connect with God consciously, that moment God's presence is manifested. See, our consciousness is in all our senses. We are aware of everything, what we hear, what we see, what we speak, what we feel. But are we aware of that presence of God within us? Are we conscious of that consciousness itself? And that a true master of the living time can share and impart this to you. And only when you yearn to know that and you open yourself with an open mind and a pure heart, that you will receive all powers. God created this amazing universe for us to enjoy, for us to learn about his glory, about his amazing manifestation, his beauty and everything else. So, but what we do, we only are attached to the world, to shopping and buying beautiful things for our home and doing amazing, things, getting many kinds of degrees and get a lot of education. And then it's time to go and we don't even know where we're going. And for that, we have to learn also, which is also taught in the prayer, forgive to forgive. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. How to forgive others is actually the only way to make space to purify your house, your home, your heart. Like if you buy a new furniture and you already have chair and sofa and everything, and you don't take the old ones out and you just put the other one on top, it becomes like hoarding it, and you cannot use it. The same thing. One have to question one's belief system. One have to question one's ideas and understandings. And whatever doesn't serve any longer, release it, let it go. Also question, what are you holding in your heart against anybody that has somehow, somewhere say something to you that made you feel not so good, or that you might have said something that made them not feel so good. Allow yourself to forgive yourself, to let those things go, so that you could make space in your heart, so that you could fill your heart with that energy of God, with that light of God, with the purity of God. Because when that is filled in your heart, it will fully explode into your whole system. And they say Lord Christ is a being of light. When he spoke to his disciple, he didn't call them son of man. Everybody on earth is son of man, but his disciples he called the son of light, because they have received the light that he has imparted unto them. And the Bible doesn't say the imaginary light. It doesn't say, oh, imagine this light. Oh, when you're wise or when you are conscious, that's light. No, Christ speak about light. Make thine eyes single and thy body shall be full of light, not imaginary light. True light, the light that is self-effulgent. Christ is telling us that we can do that. That is for us as a human being to receive. So when we open and purify our heart with forgiveness, then it says, lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. What is evil? Evil is the reverse of life. So anything that is not of you, that is of your life, that is manufactured, that's outside, it's not that it's not evil, but it is consuming your energy. And this energy, this that you have, is you could use it for one thing at a time. You could use it to go up, or you could use it to go down. And it's totally up to you. So it's time now, especially in this time of COVID, that we are having the opportunity to sit in the home. We have the opportunity to have introspection, to think about ourselves, to think where we're going to, what is our purpose, to understand that we want to connect back with our source. We are God's children, and we would like to be back united with God. That is already within us. We only have to know how, knock on which door, so we can enter. So this is a very beautiful moment in our life. And as the children's song about, the song was about Christ, it's going to be Christmas soon. I am wishing all of you a very, very holy and blessed Christmas. And also on the 21st is the junction of Saturn and Jupiter. And that is, they call it the beginning of the Aquarian gospel, the Aquarian age, which is the age of light and the age of love. So 2020 was intense. 2020 really brought us down to our knees. And now that we pray, may we pray for this knowledge. May we pray for to be revealed this important aspect in our life, to nourish our soul, that we may meet our spiritual master and receive this knowledge, so that we can then not only enlighten ourselves, but also be the light for others on earth, and also sharing it, light up this earth and bring peace and joy and bliss and wellness. I wish you all well, and I'm deeply, deeply grateful for this opportunity. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sister Audrey, for your wonderful experience sharing. Definitely, I don't have any words to express my thankfulness to her. What a beautiful combination of the life of Jesus Christ and the life of today. So, definitely, when we go to the essence and when we will search for the essence, we will get the real gem that we are searching for. That's why we have to search, we have to find out. The findings are very, very important. That's why the mechanism of finding and the connectivity of the master and the devotee, that has been always and immortal since from time immemorial. So, my dear brothers and sisters, you must have understood the experience that was shared by Sister Audrey from New York, USA. On behalf of everyone, again, thank you very much for your wonderful sharing, Audrey. Thank you so much. Now we move on to a devotional song by the youths of Gujarat. Happens to be one of the most beautiful state. Gujarat is an Indian state that has been the cradle of evolution of mankind. So the youths of Gujarat is going to perform a beautiful devotional song in front of you all. Life journey with God. The journey with the master, with the God. The song says that. So in this song, we have Vishal, Raj, Nilesh Prajapati, Ria, Nilesh Dalakia, Jigisha and Sandhya from Gujarat. My dear brothers and sisters, please enjoy this beautiful devotional song prepared by the youths of Gujarat. Thank you very much.
God is almighty and He is omnipresent. We can feel Him and we can experience Him. Hi friends, I am Nilesh. Good evening, and today we are going to present bhajan with title Life's Journey with God. It says God is present every moment with us in our life, and we can experience Him in our inside. So let's enjoy a melodious bhajan, Life's Journey with God. Thank you.
Footsteps are walking with me. Footsteps I cannot see, but every move I make, every step I take, I know they're there with me. They walk with me all the way. Beside me day by day, through the good and bad, through the happy and sad. These footsteps won't go away. Footsteps walking with me. Footsteps I cannot see, but every move I make, every step I take, I know they're there with me. I will never walk in life alone. There will always be someone there. I know He won't let me down. He's with me everywhere. The special things in life I have done have been through Him and His love. I've over the boat. Footsteps walking with me. Footsteps I cannot see, but every move I make and every step I take, I know they're there with me. That my life's been planned by the one who is guiding me. When I am led by the hand of someone I can't see, I am not always sure where to go. That's when I follow his lead. I know that the pathway that he showed will help me to succeed. Footsteps walking with me.
Footsteps walking with me.
Footsteps I cannot see.
Footsteps I cannot
But every
see.
move I make, every step I take, I know they're there with me. Walk with me all the way.
Walk with me all the way.
Side me day by
Side me
day.
day
To be
by
good
day.
and bad,
Good and
to be
bad.
happy and sad.
Happy and
The
sad.
footsteps won't go away. To the good and bad,
Good and
to be
bad.
happy and sad.
Happy and sad.
By my side they'll stay. Footsteps walking with me. Footsteps I cannot see, but every move I make and every step I take, I know they're there with me.
Thank you for the wonderful song performed by the youths of Gujarat. Definitely, dear friends, I'm spellbound by the performance and by the what to say, like the song, the words, footsteps walking with me, footsteps I cannot see. But every move I make and every step I take, I know you are there with me. Definitely, the main person behind us is invisible, but is always with us. And I remember the father's hand story because when we leave the father's hand in this beautiful carnival, we are disappointed because I still remember the story that was delivered to us in our school times. We should not leave the father's hand. The world is like a carnival. When you are with the father's hand in this carnival, then you are happy. But the moment you leave the finger of your father, then you are alone. No one is there to take care of you in this carnival. That's why most beautiful song I had ever heard. This is my first time I have happened to listen to this beautiful song presented by the youths of Gujarat. And I have to thank one of my best friend, Pragnesh ji, who had coordinated with everyone for this beautiful song. Thank you, Pragnesh ji, wherever you are in this platform. From the core of my heart, thank you for the coordination. And the youths of Gujarat and Santa Mahatma, thank you very much for this wonderful song. In the days to come, we will always listen to you all. Thank you. So now we move on to a third speaker of the session, Mahatma Musafiranandaji. My dear brothers and sisters, the key speaker of the session, Mahatma Musafiranandaji, is an enlightened saint from Haridwar in India. He is a disciple of Sri Satpalji Maharaj, spiritual saint of Manav Dharam organization. He has successfully provided spiritual enlightenment for the past 4.5 decades in various parts of India, Emirates, Kenya, Tanzania, and present Mumbai in Maharashtra. His main aim is to uplift the human being by rendering spiritual discourses and teaching spiritual knowledge to the aspirant, that is the core of all religions, essence of all religions. So, my dear brothers and sisters, without wasting much time, let's welcome most respected Mahatma Musafiranandaji.
Dear aspirant, it is a great pleasure to us Just now you heard speech of Sunanda sister, Andra sister. They have talked about spirituality. They have talked all the scripture. They are talking about glory of God, glory of saints. But for the knowledge of God, the all scripture say you have to go living master of time. Living master always come in this planet as a teacher, teach student, if not, teach the children, who will teach the children, what will happen to teaching. So education survives through the mouth of teacher. In the same way, knowledge remains alive in the heart of saint. The saint always come this planet. They are giving message of spirituality. They are not talking about we follow message of only Christ or Buddha, what Buddha said, what Rama said, what Krishna said, what they have given their time. You have to ask that knowledge. Many people go to Kashi, but what Lord Shiva did meditation, nobody asked. Many people go to Kurukshetra, where Lord Krishna gave knowledge to Arjuna. But what knowledge he has given to Arjuna in the battlefield, nobody asking. Simply chanting Gita, reading Bible, Qurana, we cannot become great. There is written about glory of saint, but knowledge not in the books. For knowledge, you have to go living master. Suppose you want any medicine, so you cannot get medicine in the medical books. For medicine, we have to go medical shop. In the same way, for knowledge, we have to go living master. For that, our saint says about that master definition is called Hindu terminology Guru. Guru means darkness, Guru means light. One who will remove the dark and show the inner light, divine light, that is called Guru. There are four kinds of light: sunlight, moonlight, firelight, and the divine light. Sunlight, moonlight, firelight can be seen by this naked eye, but divine light can be seen only by third eye. Suppose you want to see your face, unless you have a mirror, you cannot see your face. For seeing your face, you need a mirror. In the same way, for seeing the God, you have to have Guru, you have to have knowledge. For knowledge, Vivekananda studied all the scriptures, but he could not get real knowledge. For real knowledge, he went to Guru where Ramakrishna Paramahansa was uneducated. What knowledge important to Vivekananda? Then Vivekananda understood whatever I was studying, I do not know earlier. Now understood, and he told himself, no one can become great yogi without grace of master. We are talking about living master, not past master. Just like I will give example, there is a cow and the cow photo. The photo of cow can't give you milk. For milk, you have need a living cow. There is a mother photo and a living mother. The photo of mother can't give food to you. Only living mother can give food to you. In the same way, past master, we are singing glory of past master. They are great. They are so great. But simply singing glory of that master, we cannot obtain that knowledge. For knowledge, we have to go living master. Somebody say, why should go to Guru? Why to adapt a Guru? We are practicing, we are following, we are reading Ramayana, Qurana, Bible, all rituals we are performing. There is no need of teacher. Same thing happened once. Our Master Sadguru Dev Satpalji Maharaj. Somebody asked Maharaj, you are talking about Guru. Without Guru, we can know all these things. There is no need of Guru. Then our Master says, okay, I will give reply of your question. But now I am very thirsty, please. bring me water, get me water. Like gentleman brought glass of water. Then Guruji said, what I asked? I have not asked for glass. I have asked for water. Then the gentleman said, Swamiji, without glass, how can bring water? How can get water? As without glass, you cannot get water, you can't bring water. In the same way, without Guru, you can't have knowledge. For water, glass is necessary. In the same way, for knowledge, Guru also very, very necessary. And Guru gives knowledge of Atma, that Atma within us, but we do not know. Sadguru Maharaj show that Atma within you. Without that Atma, without soul, this body cannot survive. This body was just like cover. But a real thing within you, but we are seeing all physical appearance. This is a temporary, not eternal. That Atma never everlasting, that is within you. Because of that power, I am speaking, you are hearing. So Guru Maharaj gives the knowledge of Atma. There are 4 forms of Atma. As when we go to the temple, there pujari ring the bell, light a candle lamp, give tirtham, holy water, and chant mantra. Ringing the bell, symbolic God is anahad nada. That without beating, without playing, that music come. That is called anahad nada, anashtak sound. That sound within us. Second, we are showing the lamp in the temple. If you go to the church also, they are also showing the candle. That is symbolic God is a light. And that light is within you. The Guru Maharaj show that light. That is called an Upanishada. Bhargo Devasa Dhimahi. We are chanting Gayatri Mantra. Bhargo Devasa Dhimahi. Oh God, I meditate upon you. But until unless we see the light, how can meditate? So Guru Maharaj show that light, and the light is life. When a person gets involved in the jungle, he thinks 2 things required. Either light or sound. If light is there, seeing the light, he can come out from the forest, from the jungle. If there is no light, if there is music, some sound, hearing the sound, he can come out from the jungle. In the same way, we have also got involved in this Maya jungle. So coming out from the Maya jungle, we have need 2 things, knowledge of light and the light of knowledge of sound. The Guru Maharaj gives knowledge of light and sound within us. And third is called living water. When Christ went to Samaria village and he asked water, then she said, I won't give water to you. Then Christ said, if you give me water, I will thirst again and again. But I am having living water. Once you drink that water, your thirst quench forever. Amrit, that Amrit within you. Rishi Maharshi lived in jungle so many years without food. How they lived? They are drinking living water. That living knowledge of living water, Amrit. Fourth, in the temple, Pujari chant mantra. Mantra is symbolic of holy name of God. The name of God, Christ also says in Bible, heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. What is the word? In the beginning was the word. That word is within you, and that is eternal. Kabir saint also says, चंदा भी जाएगा, सूरज भी जाएगा, जाएगा धरण आकाशी, पवन पानी दोनों जाएंगे, अटल रहे अविनाशी. When time will come, sun also go away, and the moon also go destroy. Nothing will remain in this world. Only the name of God remain. That name is called imperishable. This body is perishable. God name is imperishable, and that name In every ages, there are 4 ages: Satyuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Kal Yuga. Satyug means a golden age, Treta means a silver age, Dwapar means a copper age, and the Kal Yuga means age of darkness means a iron age. In the 4 ages, the name of God is there. It won't change. Yuga to Yuga is the one. I will give example. When people in 13th Satyuga, they drank water. After Satyuga, Treta Yugam came. When people thirsty, they drank water. In Dwapar Yuga, people thirsty, they drank water. In the age of darkness, Kal Yuga, science has made so many drinks, Limca, Coca-Cola, Fruity, and Maja. In spite of all drinks, when we are thirsty now also we are drinking water. Without water, we can't quench our thirst. So the name is like that, so powerful. When Satyug people are disturbed, unhappy, Dwapar people are unhappy, mind restless, they remember the name of God, they got satisfaction. And now also same problem arise with us. People have a car, people have bungalow, all these things, TV set, sofa set, but mind is upset. So mind is so restless because we want to curb mind with material things, worldly things. Worldly things cannot give real happiness. Only temporary can give. Just like you are reading some books, first time very nice book, next time less. Last time, oh, this book is boring. Suppose you have come first time in Bombay, oh, this Bombay is very big city, very good city, Mumbai. And if you stay permanently, oh, our village is better than Mumbai. So this worldly thing cannot give real happiness. You can get real happiness only in infinitive, not in finite. This worldly thing is finite, but God is infinity, and the God name is infinity. So we have to break these finite things like a bottle. If bottle is open, the space is infinity. When a bottle is closed, the same space becomes finite. When break the bottle, finite space becomes infinity. In the same way, when that soul catch in these attributes, Satoguna, Rajoguna, Tumamangula, it becomes finite. When we get knowledge, doing meditation, then we can break all these things, and this Atma will merge and the Super Atma in Paramatma. So we have to obtain knowledge, Atma, a name of God that is within you. And if you remember the name of God, the grace of God will remain always fresh in your mind. So we must know the name of God. It cannot be spoken by a mouth. It cannot be known by study of books. Otherwise, there are many other people, they could not read books, they cannot read Bibles, so they could not get knowledge. So this knowledge, like that Christ gave knowledge to blind man, gave knowledge, gave ear deaf man, gave tongue to dumb man. What is the meaning? Not physical. Even those eyes there, but we cannot see God. He has given third eye. Even though we have ear, but we cannot hear inner music, divine music. He has given inner knowledge. Even the tongue is there. Without knowing the God, we cannot talk about God. We cannot sing glory of God. One who receives the knowledge of God, meditating name of God, then he can say everything within you. But we are not knowing. We have forgotten ourselves. We know all these things, but we have not known ourselves. So our saint says, you have to know yourself also. The story goes, today date is 19th. So the story come in mind. There was a merchant. He had 19 camels, 19 camel. And before die, he called his son and they told him, half take camel to you, 1/4 give your sister, and 1/5 give to your servant. Father said like that. After 5-4 years passed, merchant died. Children use the money whatever had. After that, there is no money. What my father told before dying. So we are have camel. In this way we can live, we can sell it. Then third father told camel is a 19 half for me, 1/4 for sister, and 1/5 for daughter. If a 19 half, and he said that camel should be not cut. But 19 half, 9.5, 9.5, 19. So anyhow you have to cut one camels. If you 19/4, then also you have to cut a camel, and the 5th also. Then God worried. If I cut, what people will think, oh, this son, so bad they kill innocent animals. So somebody suggested, go to, there was a jungle, there was a Mahatma Ji. He will tell, he knows all these things, sir. Your problem will be solved. But don't go alone, go along with a camel. So all of them went in the asana of Mahatma Ji along with a camel, and that camel that also mingle in the camel of Mahatma Ji. Mahatma Ji also had camel. And the number of camel became 20. Then Mahatma Ji said, what is the problem? Then son said, Mahatma Ji, my father said like that, half you take, 1/4 give to sister, 1/5 give to servant. So half of 20 is a 10. Half of 20 is a 10. 10 give to him. What again? 1/4 for sister. 4th of 20 is a 5. 10 plus 5, 15. Again he said what? 1/5 for servant. 5th of 20 is a 4. 10 plus 5 plus 4 became 90. Then Mahatma said, your problem solved. Mahatma said, okay. So until unless Mahatma Ji camel mingle with that camel, problem could not solve. This story teaches lesser or 10 indriya, 5 prana, and 4 antakarana. 10 plus 5, 15 plus 4, 90. So we have to include Atma. Without Atma, there is no existence of body. What is the difference between living man and a dead man? Living man has a force, dead man has no life force. We are talking about God because of life force. And Christ said, somebody said, Christ, man live only by bread. There is no, man does not live on bread alone. Man lives by word of God. So he has talked about holy name of God. So the name of God within you and me also, but now we became extrovert. We are searching in outer words, but our saint says, you have to go within you. Christ says also, the kingdom of God within you. If you know the truth, truth shall make you free. What is true? The name of God is true. Guru Nanak Dev also said, it was true yesterday, it is true now, and it will be true forever. So the name of God true, and it can remember 24 hours. Other name, when go in the deep sleep, we can't remember. But the scripture says, you have to remember the name of God. Lord Krishna through Arjuna advised everybody what he said. Tasmat sarvesu kalesu mama anuchar yujata. Hey Arjuna, at all times remember me in the fight. All times, not only daytime or night time, 24 hours. 24 hours, how can I remember? When we go to bed, we sleep. That time eye cannot see, ear cannot hear, tongue cannot speak, leg cannot walk. All the organs stop, but still something is there. Because of that, we are feeling, oh, today I got good sleep. So what is that thing? That is life force. It is a very precious thing. Without food, we can stay alive. Without wind, air, Rishi Maharshi lived in the jungle, here. Without food and without air also, we can live. Some difficulty comes, but they lived in the jungle without food, without air. Without water, you can someday just like Jain Muni, but without prana, we can't live. For living, this world is thing not necessary. Big house not necessary. Big post not necessary. Without building also you can survive. Without good cloth you can survive. But without breath we can't survive. We can't live. Our saints say you have to know the name of God and remember what you have remembered in your entire life. That thing will come at the time of death. For example, a children study in school. If I not study the entire years, he cannot write examination, he cannot pass an examination. If he study whole years, he can write down, he can pass in the examination. In the same way, whatever we have done in our life, doing in the life, same thing come at the time of death. Our saint says, you must remember the name of God always. What will happen tomorrow, we do not know. So every breath is very precious. In the breath, God's name is hidden. So we should remember the name of God. And those who got knowledge from Guru, we should not forget Guru Maharaji. Guru Maharaj, my savior. When Vivekananda went in a foreign country, when he was talking there in Chicago, his speech was so marvelous, so attractive, spellbound. Everybody began to praise him. Vivekananda, well done, well done. Vivekananda went to his room, started crying. In meanwhile, an old woman came there and asked Vivekananda, people are praising you, admiring you, why are you crying? Vivekananda had not forgotten his master. He said, I am like bulb, powerhouse. By grace of Guru Maharaj, I have spoken. This credit must go to Guru Maharaj. And Vivekananda said, Ram Krishna Paramhans can make 1,000 Vivekananda, but 1,000 Vivekananda cannot make a single Ram Krishna Paramhans. As a potter can make a lot of pots, but lot of pots cannot make a potter. In the same way, Guru can make a lot of disciples, many disciples, but disciples cannot make like Guru. So we should regard Guru and only the between Jiva and the Paramatma, individual soul and the universal soul, Guru is a link. Without Guru, we cannot get salvation. We have to search Guru and three ways judge a Guru. Our scripture says three ways. One is called Pratyaksh Pramanam, face to face. Second is called Anuman Pramanam, means inference. And the third is called Shastra Pramana, scriptures. But I am emphasizing you, this inference and the Shastra, leave it. Here, focusing, you have to get face to face. As Vivekananda got it, then Vivekananda saying glory. Ramkrishna Paramahansa showed it. So like we should become like receiver, then Guru Maharaj transfer power. Somebody say, if God is everywhere, why we cannot see him? So I will give you an example. There is a radio station, radio transmission everywhere in the atmosphere. Until unless you have radio, you cannot hear radio program. In the same way, God is everywhere. But until unless we have the technique, we cannot visualize God. So for visualization of God, we have to obtain that technique. Through that technique, if you know it, practice it in daily life, then you can change your attitude, you can change your behavior, everything will be changed. Provided we must remember the name of God. And if you remember the name of God, you can feel oneself, happiness comes and sorrow goes. Kabirdas says, सुमरण से सुख होता है, सुमरण से दुख जाए. If you remember the name of God, happiness comes and the sorrow goes. And by remembering the name of God, you will merge with God. You can become like, know the name of God, and if you remember, then there are so many thoughts of mind, it will stop. There are three kinds of mind. One mind is called unstable equilibrium. Unstable equilibrium. Second is called stable equilibrium. And third is called neutral equilibrium. Means always mind is moving here and there. Like a pen. Place on the palm in the vertical. Won't stay. For a second it will fall down. So mind always move here and there, oscillating up and down. That is called unstable mind. Second mind is calm, peace. That is called a stable mind. But somebody remark about you, oh, this fellow is not like that, this person is like this, like that. Then mind becomes disturbed. Because that word, keep your mind. Oh, so-and-so person told me. And keep on thinking about him, your mind gets upset. It affects maybe 1 day, 2 days, so many months also. The number of people living in this stage, stable mind there, but again become disturbed by hearing the words, because we have taken word in the mind, we are thinking always, so mind become dirty. For example, suppose somebody abuse you, criticize you, then that word injure you. But we will not keep your mind, just like a person send a letter to you. If you receive the letter, then it will harm you. But if you not receive the letter will go to center, or otherwise it will go to post office. In the same way, only people number of letters send you, but all letters be keep your mind, we are harboring, thinking. If you think worldly thing, we cannot reach God. If you think about God, you can reach God. It is up to you. What things should think, what should think, not think. So our saint says we have to always think, live in divinity, think divinity, then there is no room for anything. So we have to live in divinity. If our saint says, godly thought only can take to God, and worldly thought cannot take towards God. So we have to stop worldly thought and keep our mind only godly thought, divine thought. It will come only company of saint and satsang. The company of saint very important. But now we are going company of worldly people. We are going company of TV. We are going people who are watching all these things. So our saint say, a man is known by company as he keeps. If you keep good company, you can become good. So our saint say like that, you have to attend holy company and something teach lesson also. But we do not now apply our mind. You know very well, in the television is written TV. What is the meaning of TV? I would like to ask you. TV means a time virus. It is spoiling our life. It is teaching you TV. T means time. V means a time virus. But we want to spoil lives. We are seeing because we became slave of TV. And Hindi is also written Doordarshan. Doordarshan means the thing keep away from darshan of God. That is called Doordarshan. So meaning is there, but we became slave of mind. So we should become master of mind. It can possible only by grace of Sadhguru Maharaji. So I request those who attended this virtual revival satsang must ask knowledge, and he is not only theory, here practical also given. So theory and practical very necessary, and I will request we have to take shelter of Sadhguru Maharaj, living master. Alone can survive for this worldly thing, can give temporary peace, but if you want a real happiness, you have to go shelter of Sadhguru Maharaji, as Sadhguru Maharaj your savior, and he teach you live this world just like a lotus. I would like to tell about Guru Maharaj. I heard once Guru Maharaj went to Gujarat, and some devotee invited his house, and he told his friend also, our Guru Maharaj come in my house, please come to have darshan of Guru Maharaj. Then that fellow, Gujarati fellow also came for darshan of Guru Maharaj. And when they saw the Guru Maharaj civil dress, because they are thinking only appearance is a significance of grand saint. So Guru Maharaj dress is not more like sannyasi. Like civil, seeing dress, they commented Guru Maharaj, how can become a great soul? He's like civil dress, sitting like that, this and that, things, thinking like that. Then Guru Maharaj asked them, how did you come here? By which means you came here? They said, Maharaji, we all came by car. When you are driving the car, petrol is burning or not? Petrol is consuming or not? Without petrol burning, how can car run? But why is not car burning? So they said because of piston. In the same way, Guru Maharaj said, I have knowledge just like piston. Because of that piston, because of that knowledge, Maya can't do any harm to me. So they realize, so Guru Maharaj knowledge, like this also, you live in this world like lotus. Lotus leaves the water, but it won't stagnate in the water. So this is greatness of knowledge. And Guru Maharaj Ji, thank everybody who has joined this Universal Revival Journey Program. Thanks everybody. For Sadgurudev Maharaj Ki Jai.
Thank you very much, Pujaniya Mahatma Ji, respected Musafiranandaji Mahatma Ji from Maharashtra. On behalf of all the audience and from the organizing team, we would like to thank you very much for your wonderful sharing. The importance of life breath is very, very important. We have to understand the beauty of this breath. It is a common denominator. But the energy which sustains this breath, the energy which we have within, is very, very mysterious. But we have that potential to find out. We can experience that energy within us. Thank you so much for your wonderful sayings, Ji. And I would like to request Mahatma Ji, finally, not the last, to recite a short prayer, Tameva Mata, and we will have 2 minutes of meditation for the world peace. Thank you, Mahatma Ji.
Tameva Mata च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धु च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविडं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव.
Now we will have 2 minutes of meditation
Yes,
for the world
for world
peace.
peace, 2
Thank
minutes
you.
sit in the meditation. Everybody, 2 minutes. बोल सदगुरुदेव महाराज की जय.
Thank you very much, Mahatmaji. Finally, at the last, we have come to an happy ending of this universal revival journey. I'm very much obliged and thankful to all the speakers, Simiji, Audreyji, Mahatmaji, and all the singers from Gujarat and from Sikkim. And definitely, I would like to thank all the audience. In spite of your busy schedule, you have given us your precious time, and otherwise it would have not been possible to conduct this program and to run this program. Thank you so much. Stay safe. Let's maintain social distancing. Still, the world is under threat of COVID-19. No matter, the world should go on, the work should go on, the activities should go on, but still at the same time, we have to be very, very careful because it is winter season now. There's high chances of spreading COVID everywhere. Still, the world is under threat. But anyway, some of the programs have already started running in all the organizations of ashrams. We are maintaining social distancing and we are using masks. Obviously, dear friends, please be aware, use masks, please maintain social distancing, and please take care of the cleanliness. And wish you all a very, very happy New Year and Merry Christmas to all of you. May this new Christmas and new year brings a new hope, a ray of hope, and may we lead us to a new dimensions of life with lot of satsangs and bhajans and being spiritual. Let's change ourselves first, then we can change others. Let us be the change for others. So this should be the prayer at the lotus feet of Sadgurudev Shri Guru Maharaji. Thank you very much for being with us. Thank you very much. Good night to all of you. Thank you.